That, my friends, I believe, is the jelly to the carnivore peanut butter. I cannot express it enough how happy I am that I went carnivore and how much of a game changer it is already for me. On Crush Equity on September 3rd, I started a 100-day carnivore challenge. I started with a 5-day fast and went right into a strict carnivore. Meat, eggs, salt, butter. No dairy, no cheese. After about 2 weeks, I decided to play around with it. I added something unorthodox. Glad I did. Best decision I ever had. And it's changed my life. And then it was overnight. And you can see it in my videos. Don't take my word for it. Watch the last 10-15 videos I put out and you'll see the difference. And it was instant. And in that time, I went from 486 to 435. It's been a journey and we're just getting started, baby. So thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoy this video. What's up, bros? As I thought, my back would still be a little sore. So taking an active recovery rest day. Came out to the trail. I haven't been here in a while. Do a little vlog for tomorrow's video. Going a longer than normal walk since we're not working out. We're gonna walk at least 3 miles today. Get lots of nice sun. Scale's still trolling me, but I don't care. It's whatever. Yeah, I got get a little triggered early in the morning. I just have a routine. I mean, I don't have routines on very many things, but when I wake up, I like to drink at least a quart of cold water and take a shit. Cranky. Especially when I know damn well I'm in over 1,000 calorie deficit and then I gain to whatever. So I know that's just how it goes. And man, if I was eating carbs and shit, it'd be even worse. It's like that bitch can swing 5+ pounds easy. But I know how I'm looking and everything. And that's also why I measured. So that was the 16th of September. So October 16th, I'll take more measurements. I think part of it, you know, because you lose, right? So I went from 484 to 447 in like 3 days, right? 3 or 5 days, whatever it was. I know one thing. Up until a few days ago, I was actually starting to worry a little bit if I was getting that late 30s fucking thing, because that didn't hit me yet. You know, where you're just sorer than normal and all that. But no, it was just the first little bit of the carnivore, because that's completely went away, and I have amazing energy. Even the last few hard workouts, yeah, I'm a little tired, you know, because I've been getting home after like around 4 or 5 eating, and then 4 or 5 hours later going to sleep. So when I get up to go piss or whatever, it's like, oh, you know, gotta stretch out a little bit. That's the thing, like my joints were hurting a little bit. It's kind of a carnivore overview thing, but when I started, which I'm going to talk about in a couple days in that video, when I started this extra thing, instant. That initial break-in period of carnivore ending at the same time, but that would be the coincidences of all coincidences. Exactly what I thought would happen is happening. And I thought it would last 3 weeks to a month, and then the fat would start trickling down. So I know a lot of y'all are, you know, y'all meme in the comments, yeah, bros, bro, recomp in 3 weeks, you know, well, it's true, man. I've literally spent 70% of my life over 400 pounds, and definitely over half of it over 440 pounds. In fact, maybe I'll just release this as that, even though it's a couple days early since I've already started talking about it. Yeah, we'll just do that. I'll just take videos randomly throughout this walk as I think about things I want to say, and then that'll give me a couple more days if something comes up. This is a 30-day review of carnivore. It's changing my life, I know that. As a lifelong food addict, keto did a lot. Carnivore made a big, but it was something, eating like the carb balanced tortillas and the keto breads, and that's where now as carnivore I have 0 binge impulses. And I guarantee you, I know within 3 weeks I would have been fiending for shit, and I resisted it a few times, but that's why I had that nasty cycle. It's a cycle I've had my whole life. I don't have that. I'm not craving anything. And in fact, you know, one thing I did do for a change is, you know, I bought all those pork roasts, those pork shoulders that were on sale. And even trimming the fat off. You know, I think maybe I think with less body fat, that's a perfect meat. But for me, I think to lose fat, I don't want to go low fat, but maybe more like moderate fat. You know, so maybe like 150 grams of fat and 300 grams of protein. So, I mean, that's 4/8, that's 1,200 calories from protein, and then 900, 450, 1,350. So, yeah. So maybe, yeah, 2,500 calories. 2,000 to 2,500. And just see if that works, you know, because I feel amazing. I don't know, I'm less worried about the calories. But what I did is I got some pork loins. So I took and I donated the 3 pork shoulders that I had left. I donated them to a food bank. And, you know, so families will like that. And then I got 2 big ass pork loins. So I've always loved those. Those are lean. Cut those into chops. And I'll eat those now instead of pork loin. So that, chicken, steak, and eggs. I'm gonna drop the fat like 30%. Still gonna mainly be doing OMAD, especially with what I'm doing. So I guess since this is that video, I'll briefly overview it. But everyone talks about acai berries and goji berries and, you know, Fuji berries. All these shit is superfoods and this and that. As far as I'm concerned, there's only 2 real superfoods, and I'm gonna combine meat and eggs together. Thank you, bud.
Keep working, brother.
Oh well, thank you. As far as I'm concerned, meat and eggs, that's the only real superfood. Well, that's one of 2, because it has literally everything you need. You know, I don't have a problem with any vegan. If you want to eat vegan, go for it, bro. But at the end of the day, to do it right, you got to be a fucking literal chemist and eat 100 different things. You literally have to like throw shit together in a lab to get it right. You can pick any meat as long as it has fat on it and eat that, especially like beef or even chicken, pork. You could eat nothing but that, and you would be fine. Maybe supplement it a little bit with vitamin C, but there's why is there all these carnivores that don't have scurvy. Well, I've been looking into that. Guess what? And beef, especially liver and stuff, and organs, if you're eating full carnivore, you're getting plenty of vitamin C. The reason why people got scurvy back in the day is they were eating a lot of grains, and they weren't eating that much meat, because meat's always been for the royals. It's always been a very expensive. If you were poor, you weren't eating meat. Anyways, getting back to superfoods. So you got meat and eggs. It's a complete food. You can eat that has everything you need, vitamins, minerals, all that. And there's one other thing on planet that has everything you need as well. And that's algae. Specifically spirulina and chlorella. This is something that's going all the way back to my grandma. My grandma, you know, was doing this OG, was in Nature Sunshine and all. That's how I learned a lot of the shit that I learned from my grandma and then my mom. So I learned about chlorella a long time ago in the early 2000s or mid 2000s or whatever it was from my grandma and my mom. So I've always known about that. Spirulina, it's a little different. Spirulina is actually not even, it's a microbe. It's technically an animal. So chlorella is a plant, but spirulina is actually a microbe. But just like meat, you have everything you need. Some things are a little different quantities. And also like meat, they're on the lower side of vitamin C, but they have it. Now, obviously, I wouldn't want to sit there and try and eat a pound or 2 pounds of fucking algae a day. That's disgusting. But so I don't give a shit if it's technically not carnivore or whatever, you know. So I tried it. I just said, fuck it. I already, well, this is why I need to be back in my apartment to really show you. But I already had some. I already had spirulina and chlorella. Back in February, after the fire, I bought a bunch of, I bought like $500 worth of powders and stuff to make my own, whatever you want to call it, like once daily mix. You know, not greens, but, you know, I'll show you. But it had a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it's something I want to make at some point and sell. And I was thinking, but I just came to the conclusion I was going to make like a year's supply for myself and then take it and document it. And then I was going to sell it. Couldn't figure out a way to mix all those powders together evenly without spending, you know, like a couple $100 on a mixer. You know, mixing a few powders is one thing. When you're trying to mix like 10 or 15 or however many it was, you know, I didn't want to be taking a tablespoon of, you know, ashwagandha, for example, or there's a few things in there I wouldn't want to be taking like, you know, a tablespoon of or something on accident. So I just said, fuck it. That's something I still plan on doing. I want to make my own mix, especially now on Carnivore, especially what I'm feeling right now. But anyways, that, and then I also would consider mushrooms in the same, I consider mushrooms in the same category as dairy. I'd say they're superfoods, but they're below meat, eggs, and algae. So it's disgusting, but you know, it's whatever, I don't care. I'm just taking water, I'm taking a tablespoon of spirulina, the good shit, and also chlorella, the pure powder, with a serving of, you know, like a 10-in-1 mushroom blend that I had gotten for my powder mix, and my salt and electrolytes, and then down in it. And that's been my breakfast. Because I mean, a tablespoon of each of those, it's like, I think between the two of them, it's like 7 or 8 grams of protein and 2 or 3 grams of carbs. And but it's enough. So I just started taking that probably around 9, 10 in the morning when I started to get twinges of hunger. And then a couple hours later, going and working out. And I'm telling you, instantly overnight, it changed. I just felt the difference. It was I didn't watch something that was like, ooh, I want to try that. I'll never watch something and just be like, ooh, I want to do that. I take information and then I make up in my own mind. I don't follow anyone, for better or for worse. You know, life would probably be a lot easier for me if I just did that. But I did try that. I tried the traditional diet shit forever. And I know none of y'all believe that, but I've talked about it and I'm not going to go into it more. Like, that was like 3 days ago, I think. Yeah, when I started that. Instant difference. I'm telling you, like, my body felt beat the fuck up since I started doing that. I don't know, it could have been the switch flipping at the same time, or it was those two things. But, I mean, nothing, no pain or no nothing. And I mean, y'all see how hard I'm working out and shit. So, I don't know, right or wrong, that's what I decided to do. And it's like, it makes no sense, but that's why it makes perfect sense to me. You know, Carnivore with spirulina and chlorella. It's all I know is it's fucking doing something for me. I'll be straight up. You don't need the chlorella and spirulina. You have everything you need, meat and eggs. But I think it's a magical combination that few people have the balls to try, because spirulina and chlorella is a vegan thing, and meat and eggs is a carnivore thing, and those two things don't usually mix. And most people are too proud generally to look on the other side. But I've always been a middleman. I don't give a fuck. Whatever works, baby. I'll just do whatever the fuck feels right to me. So that's what I did, and I'm glad. So that's the thing I've been talking about for the last few days that I tried differently. And honestly, y'all can look at the videos and see my attitude and everything and see it. So I'm going to keep doing that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still carnivore. You know, there may be some of I don't really care if anyone thinks otherwise. Spirulina especially is literally a bacteria. And what I'm eating, a tablespoon of chlorella. Oh my God. So that's all I'm eating. No cravings, not making me crave anything else. And it's literally like those 2 tablespoons. It literally feels like a breakfast, dude. And then I get energy. Because I didn't know as much about spirulina. I knew a lot about chlorella, like I said, from my grandma, but I didn't really know anything about spirulina. I just knew it was good. That's why I got it, like 5-6 months ago. But I looked into it, and it's more of an energy thing, whereas chlorella is more of a detoxing thing. It's just like, to me, it's kind of like mixing meat and eggs, right? Like, I just think algae is just another version of eggs. So, I mean, manna, that's going back to the Bible days. You look to talk about the description of manna. It fits a lot of spirulina fits, kind of, in my opinion. The color and everything. So, right or wrong, that's what gets, and also kind of where the spirulina idea came from. Is like, it fits really closely with the description of Moses and all that when they were 40 years in the desert. So, right or wrong, that's what I'm doing. Also notice more endurance, so maybe the weight is like muscle glycogen. I've also been looking into that, and that's something that starts happening. You go through that real depletion phase, and then when your body gets used to flipping into pure carnivore keto with no carbs, your body starts adjusting, and you start filling up a little bit with glycogen. So one of the things is I did order some creatine, so I'm going to start taking 5 grams of creatine a day. I cannot express it enough how happy I am that I went carnivore, and how much of a game changer it is already for me. The result, I don't even have to talk about it. The results will speak for themselves. My story will tell itself. I don't need to narrate it, or I don't need to project it. My actions will narrate my story. So at the end of this, there'll be no question about what worked. You're getting a fucking day by day, or mostly day by day, play-by-play narration of what I'm doing, why I'm doing, when I'm doing it. And then the results of the vlog speak for themselves. Going all the way back to November 2023, when I first started this. Look at these beautiful fall colors. It truly is a beautiful trail. Nice big ass park right next to it. All the way down there, got a golf course. All right, there we go. We're halfway through. Absolutely perfect day today. Active recovery. That's normally what our walks have been, is right at about 1 hour and 2 miles. So give or take 10%. So we're going double and feeling good. Of course, I walked down the last like 3/4 of a mile, so now I got to walk up back. Here we go. We just hit 3 miles. Whew. Definitely feeling it. That final mile. Whew. This is what I was originally planning on. Which means I made the right call, because this is when I'm getting tired. Look at that right trap, by the way. That's right shoulder. See? Couldn't see the shit on my right side. Scale can kiss my ass, baby. I can see the changes. Boom. And there we go. 4 miles, baby. Whoo. Whoo. Fucking hey. Definitely glad it's over. And you crazy bastards that run 6.5 times this, the fuck is wrong with you? Hell no. And all the fat dudes that want to run a marathon, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would any fat person want to run a fucking marathon? I've never understood that. I mean, power to you, whatever floats your boat. I have never understood that desire for a fat dude to run a marathon. But to each their own. Maybe. Anyways, all right, I'm out. Peace. Well, there's your zone 2 cardio. Well, that's some serious zone 2. I don't know, my heart rate did a lot better than it normally does when I walked. It was in the low 120s most of the time, or in the 110s. So, which is good. Nothing's going to help my heart better than these walks. All right, so this is what I mean. This is all the stuff that I got like 6-7 months ago to make my own like mix. I'm not going to show exactly what it all is. It's just a bunch of random stuff. But this is where the spirulina and chlorella came from. I had already gotten that. So I got this while I was at my last place, like in February or March, somewhere like that. You know, like, for example, Tonkat Ali, carnitine, maca. There's more maca, tribulus, whatever, ginger. There's cayenne. There's black pepper. There's another thing of mushrooms. This is the bag of spirulina. The chlorella was smaller, so I don't have any more of that because I put them in these for easy access. This is chlorella. See how it's green. This is spirulina. It's got that more darker bluish tint to it. And this has got a bag of the mushrooms. I didn't. It's got like 10. It's a nootropic mix. It's got all the good mushrooms in it. It's like 10 in 1. I believe it's 10 in 1. I've also got this. I did this twice and I stopped because I'm so sensitive to caffeine now. Even though doing it at like 12, I could just tell I had like, so this, because this has like 60, 70 milligrams of caffeine in it. If I ever need an extra juke bump, you know, I'll throw some of this in there with this. And then this just came in today. I decided to get some creatine. Now I got this right before this transition happened, when I was like, oh, you know, getting out of bed and I was sore as shit and all that. And then, as I talked about earlier, just boom, it switched. The instant I started the spirulina and chlorella. So I don't know exactly what I needed, but I'm gonna just take 1 scoop of it, 5 grams. So that'll be like 8 grams total of creatine a day after all the meat. But I mean, why not? I'm making a shake. Now this isn't for the faint of heart. Most people probably wouldn't do this the way I'm gonna do it because people are really sensitive about shit that they eat, consume. I don't give a fuck. I mean, it tastes whatever. I don't care how it tastes. Just chug it down. Because I ain't putting anything in it. I'm going to show you exactly how I mix it up. So this is what I've been doing. Right now it's 8:40 in the morning. I got up around 6. And so this is a little early. Usually it'd be around 10, but I just want to get this video done, so I'm going to do it a little early. But kind of when those first tinges of hunger start kicking in, this is just, I do this and then I wait a little bit and then I'll go do my workout or my walk, or depending on what I'm doing for the day. So like, I don't even know what I'm doing for today. I'll do something. It may just be a 1 hour walk or something, but I'll figure that out. But the water's right there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 scoops of collagen in there. I love this, especially since I'm fasted. It's the first thing I put in my body. You know, it's just, this is a repair protein and all that. I don't know. I also have bovine beef broth protein if I need it. I haven't opened it yet. I also mix this in my eggs. I should show that one of these days because it doesn't change the flavor at all, and it just adds protein to your eggs. And I'm eating like 3 to 5 scoops of this a day. It's a quick 27 grams of protein. Salt. I don't really measure it. I mean, I have, but I mean, just a quarter, half a teaspoon, something like that. Potassium. Half a teaspoon, so 12 to 1500 milligrams, somewhere in there. Magnesium. Half a serving, so right around 200 milligrams. And that's malate, magnesium malate. Calcium. About 400 milligrams worth. No science for that, that's just what seems right. So those are electrolytes. Then I also take some Mason iodine. And I put 3-4 drops in there, which comes out to 1,800 to 2,200 micrograms. And since now we're doing creatine, we'll throw a scoop of creatine in there. Now this is the chlorella. And now real quick, once this is gone, I got these. I mean, I guess I can get more of this, but this tastes a little better. And, but I don't know. But anyways, I got these for, which is just 50-50 spirulina and chlorella. And I'll figure out how much. But in any case, this is chlorella. And again, no reason. It seems the right amount. This is a half tablespoon. I just do 2 heapings of them. So basically a little over a tablespoon. This is spirulina. Same thing. 2 half tablespoon scoops. Lastly, mushroom mix, which I love mushrooms. And when I start adding stuff in, I will absolutely add mushrooms back into my diet. I love mushrooms. So just a good heaping serving scoop of that, which again, that's got all the main ones: lion mane, chaga, reishi, all those. 10 in 1. And then a lot of times I'll take liver and stuff too. The idea is I'm just taking all these nutrients, fasted, with a little bit of collagen protein so they absorb. And yeah, because between everything that's in here, plus this liver, and then I don't always do this. This is an instinctive thing. I'll do this 3 or 4 times a week because I don't think you need this every day. And then I've also got beef organs. So a serving is 6, but I just do 3 because I'm taking the liver also. And then kidney, which no specific reason why I got kidney other than it was on sale. But after all the shit I've put them through the last 38 years, kidney and liver is something in my body that should help. So Bubowski, take those. And now again, there's no flavoring in this. Most people I don't think would do this. Especially now that I've felt what it does. Look at that right shoulder, baby. Look at that, dude. I've never been able to see my muscles on my right side. Let's go. I can even see my, look at that. I can even see my pec, boom. Look at that. Look at that pec muscle rippling. That's crazy. That's on my fat side too. Look at that. Telling you. You can see the time, man. You ain't gotta believe me or take my word for it. Just watch the fucking videos, bro. That's the beautiful thing about just documenting shit. Kind of like sweat equity. You can, someone could say, you're only doing 6 sets, man. You need to do more. Well, look at how much I'm sweating and look how much you're sweating. I'm doing what I need to do for me. So, same thing with this. Results, bro. That's crazy, though. That is crazy, dude. It's just like, which I've always known this would happen if my fat ass would just stick to it and do the damn thing and not binge and bullshit. So I'm not surprised. I mean, I honestly, I am kind of a little surprised. Like, I've only lost a few pounds of fat, man, which is crazy. Like, what about another 5 pounds of fat? What about when I lose another 10 pounds of fat? 20 pounds? 50 pounds? Just imagine after 50 pounds of pure fat, even if I didn't gain an ounce of muscle and I even lost 5 pounds of muscle. Say I lost 5 pounds of muscle, then lost 50 pounds of fat, dude, I'm still going to be stacked as fuck. And then, hell, I get down to my ideal weight. If I lose any muscle in the process, I can just fucking gain that shit right back. Muscle memory. This shit's fun. When you actually do it, this shit's fun. That's the problem, though. It's just, It's just getting going and doing it when you're a lifelong fat bastard. Alright, so that's good. Again, bottoms up. Tastes like piss, but you know what? It does the thing. It's actually not that bad. The first time it was, because didn't know what I was expecting. It was rough, but it actually, you know what it kind of tastes like? It's like what's that fucking yeast stuff? The nutritional yeast, that cheesy flavor. That's actually kind of what this tastes like. In fact, now that I think about it, that's almost exactly what it tastes like. Just eat some pure nutritional yeast. That's what this tastes like. And that's it. That, my friends, I believe, is the jelly to the carnivore peanut butter.